What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Roman Fritz, the man who is considered a legend, especially in Germany. And that's because of the resilience that he has shown in the past few years, his never giving up attitude. So how does this guy still has some of the freakiest and so huge quads after a triple hip replacement surgery? That will always be a very big mystery. So genetics could be the one word to explain all that. Because Roman has been trying his best for the last many years to grow his upper body so that it becomes more balanced, more proportionate top to bottom. But the man is still far behind in terms of his upper body, front to back. So Roman has also been one of the most gifted athletes, especially in a sense that he can stay so damn lean throughout the year, even in the off-season, even in the recovery phase. I mean, for those of you guys who do not know, he got ready for Europa Pro Germany in just under 6 weeks' time. And the rumor is that he can step on a bodybuilding stage with merely 4 weeks of dieting and be in a very good shape, in a very good condition. I mean, even now, the season is over, and this is him today, still so round, so lean. So Roman made a comeback this year to the stage after a gap of few years, and that was at Europa Pro Germany. He obviously wasn't in the discussion to win that thing or even place top 5, which is a step back considering the fact that he's a former Olympian. But the fans still love him for his passion, for his commitment to the sport, and he was able to recover from the surgeries and step back on the bodybuilding stage. That's always commendable. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. Next up, we have an update from 2 times Arnold champion in Classic Physique division, Terrence Ruffin. So 10 years ago, the Classic Physique division was created, and there is only one guy who can claim at this point to have won the honor twice in Classic Physique division, and that's Terrence Ruffin. And the only guy from back in 2016 was still competing, and that too at the highest level. So now there is just one more title for Terrence Ruffin to chase to complete his legacy, and that's the Olympia. And for that very reason, Terrence is solely focused on bringing a much better and a much improved physique on the Olympia stage next year, and he won't be doing this upcoming Arnold, Ohio, because he believes that would increase his chances of becoming the Classic Physique Olympia champion. So if I'm not mistaken, Terrence competed more times this year as a Classic Physique Pro than anybody else this year. So he did a total of 6 shows and he won 5 of them. But he also knows that the most progression that he was able to make in his physique, that was during the years when he took big off seasons and he just focused on putting on more muscle, more mass, and more lean muscle tissue on his physique. So he took the whole of last year off and he went from top 5 to top 3. And some even made an argument for him winning the Olympia this year. Now, Terrence also has a great advantage over all the other competitors. Among all those Olympia first call out, they are all maxed out. Ramon, Mike, Josema Beast, they always have big difficulties making the weight. But Terrence, on the other hand, he still has room to grow. He can still put on plenty of muscle before he hits the weight cap. And that's exactly what he's gonna maximize on in 2026. So weeks after his last show, the man still looks pretty damn insane. He's arguably the guy with the most classic shape among the top 3. So the best of Terrence, that is still loading for 2026. Next up, we have an update from another 2 times Arnold champion and a true legend, Brandon Terry. So not many people out there, they give him enough credit over the fact that this guy has been competing as an IFBB pro for 15 years now and is still at the top of the game. He's still beating so many young guys who are all very talented. So the gesture shown by the officials at this past Olympia, where they brought in Brandon Terry along with 3 other Olympia champions, that was such an awesome moment for the whole of bodybuilding. So that was probably the first time we saw 4 champions on the stage at the same time. So in the last few years, Brandon has slowly transitioned into the second call-out guy, which is understandable for his age. He's a family man, and I do not think at this point he is willing to take some risks, which some of these other younger guys can afford to take. Considering the fact that Brandon is also the oldest guy in that entire Olympia lineup in the current era. So most of us thought that Curry was unfairly judged and placed at this past Olympia. He should have beaten this version of the mutant, but he did get some positive feedback from the judges on the package that he brought this time. So Brandon has done 2 shows this year. First was the Arnold and then the Olympia. Both with a new coach, and both of his looks, they were appreciated big time by the judges. So at this point in his career, it's kind of unrealistic to think that Curry can make it into the first Olympia call-out. But the man can still do some big shows like Dubai Pro and get some big paydays.
I think surgery was like 4.5 months ago at this point, so coming towards the end of, what should be the rehabby recovery portion of it. And
the top 6 for the Olympia next year, they are gonna be way more competitive because of this guy right here, Hunter Labrada. So Hunter just gave some more updates on his recovery and how he's slowly transitioning into the phase where he's gonna try to put the muscle back. Now, kind of a bad thing, and the news is that he kind of confirmed that the chances of him doing the upcoming Arnold, they are almost nil. So we won't be surprised one bit if he takes all the time to get that density back, get all that muscle back, and he goes back to doing either Tampa Pro or Texas Pro, or maybe a show just a couple of weeks before the Olympia to secure his spot. So the 2 shows that I just mentioned, he has done them multiple times in the past, and he has actually presented some of the best physiques of his entire career in those shows. But a show like the Pittsburgh Pro, that would be the one to make a big statement. One of the biggest shows in terms of the prize money. And the promoters, they're the manians who run the federation, and they would want someone like Hunter to 100% be there. So Hunter is also now a seasoned veteran. So 2025 was the first year when he skipped the Olympia for a very obvious reason, that his shoulder, that was hindering the way he wanted to train, and big time. And he has consistently been placing in the top 6. So we know not many fans out there, they rate him or his physique very high, especially if we look at the top 5 and the caliber of athletes who are there at the Olympia level. But I 100% believe that Hunter has all the tools to be anywhere from 4th to 6th based on how he peaks. So he's a huge bodybuilder with plenty of size, and we did saw a glimpse of his true potential last year at the Olympia when he had the chance to stand next to Hadi Chopin, especially at the prejudging. So what shows do you guys think Hunter should target next? So before we end this video, I just want to talk about this crazy 7 years transformation from one of the biggest stars that emerged in the post-Olympia tour this year in the men's open bodybuilding, Joan Pradell. So this guy had the genetics. He had the potential to be a great bodybuilder even when he was only 18 or 19 years old. But just looking at the crazy amount of muscle mass and the lean muscle tissue that he was able to put on, that's simply bonkers. And that's just not it. Even after he turned pro, the kind of transformation that he was able to make from 2022 to 2025, that was simply nuts. So we saw him competing multiple times in this year's post-Olympia tour, and he stood next to some of the best guys in the game, like Martin, Samson, Andrew Jack, Michael Crizo, Keon, and so many others. And the craziest part was that he almost beat a guy like Keon Pearson at Prague. He lost to him by just 1 point, and that just goes to show us the kind of potential this guy has. So I for one am very much looking forward to how he shows up in 2026 with another off-season under his belt. Also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.